from our left to right, and they're all white uniforms. Here's the kick. Kicks it about the middle of the field. Looks like 19, that's Kodey Ferrante. He's going to run up the middle. He's got some room. He's got a couple of blockers, cuts to his left, breaks a couple of tackles, uses his speed. There he goes! Touchdown, Calaveras!
What a great way to start the homecoming game, to get the crowd into it immediately.
What a play. The first time he touches the ball, he takes it to the house for 6 points. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk Football with Coach Val. I'm your host, Gil Valtierra, the voice of Calaveras football. It's game day, baby. Your Calaveras Redhawks are on the road again. Wait, did I just quote Willie Nelson? I think I just did. On the road again to Modesto to take on the Big Valley Christian Lions. And with me in the studio today, as always, the head varsity football coach at Calaveras High School, Coach Manny Mossa. Coach, everybody was a little bit like, are we sure? Are we really having a game?
You know, they're waiting for that sign, that applause sign. Come on.
So we'll talk a little bit more about, the Millennium forfeit and all that, because that was a little bit unfortunate. The Calaveras faithful clearly are craving some football. But let's get right to some of the football that did happen. We always start off with the results from last week. The Calaveras Junior Redhawk program were in action. They went back to the scene of the crime, Coach. They went up to Tuolumne, up at Summerville, where the high school was a week ago. The Calaveras Junior Redhawk program facing on the junior program over there with the Tuolumne Bears. The junior novice team started off the day. They were victorious 20-0. Some stats around that game. Grayson Cochran had one tackle. Gunnar Olson had a tackle. Carter Pettijohn had a tackle, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, and an onside recovery. Nice job, Carter. Mia Watson had 2 tackles. Nice job, Mia. Nixon Adams had 20 yards rushing and 2 tackles. Grayson Gore, 21 yards rushing and 2 tackles. Growler Barron, 4 tackles. And Tucker Mills, 190 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns, 12 tackles, and a partridge in a pear tree. He did it all on Saturday. So nice job there, Tucker. Final score, Calaveras 20, Tuolumne 0. Coach, any comments on that game?
Yeah, I think it was a good win for him. Tuolumne was a pretty good junior novice team. You know, they had good players. I know they showed up at the scrimmage. I know the coaches remembered that. That's a good win. Put up 20, hold them to 0. Can't ask for a whole bunch more than that.
Absolutely, Coach. Greg Mills and his staff has got that group going, so congrats to them. Moving on to the Junior Redhawk novice team, coached by Coach Sam Arledge and his staff. They were victorious 33-6. Some stats around that game. Jax Watson, 5 carries, 102 yards and 2 touchdowns. Sammy Arledge, 5 carries for 44 yards. Jace Kamenzen, 2 carries for 36 yards, a touchdown, and a 66-yard kick return for a touchdown. Nice jobs getting the special teams there, Jace. Congratulations. McCoy Stouty, 2 carries, 75 yards and a touchdown. Nice job. Hayden Trillo, 2 carries for 12 yards. Defensively, Lucas Mellinger had a tackle. Leonard Powers had a tackle. Brent Fusen had a tackle. Jace Kamenzen had 2 tackles. Dakota Howard had a sack. Gino Varney, 2 tackles and a tackle for a loss. Jax Watson had a tackle. Bronson Jenkins had a tackle. And Maxwell Green had a tackle. Gunnar LaFabry had a fumble recovery. And Colton Watson had 2 tackles. So nice job in the victory for them. Comments around that game, Coach?
They're rolling.
They're undefeated,
rolling,
right?
Yeah, they're rolling, man. It's keep it going. You know, got Houston coming up with 1 loss, so I think coaches ought to be pretty fired up for that one, man.
That's going to be a big one.
Yeah, at home.
Like I told, that's tomorrow. That's Saturday, 18th. Houston Huskies coming to Frank Meyer Field. Like I told Coach Sam Arledge, it's simple. Just go 1-0 each week.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yep.
No need to look forward.
Hey, like we talked, they got that target on their back, man. You know, everyone's going to be out to get them. You got to play your best game every game.
Just go 1-0.
Yep.
You can get it done. So congrats to them. Let's move on to the JV Junior Red Hawk team. They were victorious 44-12. Some stats around that game. Greg Mills was 4 for 5 passing, 88 yards, and 2 passing touchdowns. You got to like that passing stat line. I like that a lot. Luca Varney, 6 carries, 71 yards, 3 receptions for 76 yards, a rushing touchdown, 2 receiving touchdown. Nice job, Luca. Good game. Ethan Mossa, 4 carries, 17 yards, a touchdown, a kick return for 55 yards and a touchdown. Nice job, Ethan. Nolan Mint, 3 carries for 43 yards and a touchdown. Dion Willingham, 2 carries for 16 yards. Preston Trillo, 7 carries, 31 yards. Levi Weldon, 1 carry for 4 yards. Nash Camenzind, 1 carry for 3 yards. Gannon Lefebvre, 1 reception for 12 yards. Offensive totals, 24 rushes for 185 yards and 4 touchdowns, 4 receptions for 88 yards and 2 touchdowns, so a total of 6 touchdowns. That's a pretty productive day offensively. Defensively, Gannon Lefebvre, 5 tackles. Nolan Mint, 4 tackles, 2 of them solo. Luca Varney, 4 tackles, 3 solo. Cooper Watson, 3 tackles and a fumble recovery. Ethan Mossa, 3 tackles, 1 solo. KJ Manoa, a sack and a block punt. Nice. Like that. Talon Erickson, a sack and a tackle. Ben Montgomery had a tackle. Waylon Landreth had a fumble recovery. And Levi Weldon, Landon Nunez, Landon Carne Asada, and Braden Rowe, Tyler West, Cody Cable all had a tackle for a loss. Final score, Calaveras 44, Tuolumne 12. Coach, you were on the sidelines. Some comments around that game.
Yeah, you know, I felt offensively we took what they gave us. You know, they had everybody in the box taking away inside runs, sweep, and so it was a good time to throw the football. And I thought Greg Mills played very well. He did all the little things right, which turned into good plays, big plays, touchdowns. So that was really good to see. We haven't really done a whole bunch of that so far this year, and it was good to test him. You know, like, hey, we're gonna have to throw it. You know, and he came to play.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty efficient stat line.
Yep, and guys ran the right routes. The drop was clean. The O-line did a very good job. The running backs that stayed in the block picked up a couple of blitzers. So it was a good job by Greg's part. Good job by everybody else to give him a chance to throw the football. You know, defensively, I thought we played very well defensively, except for 2 plays. 2 plays, we had guys take plays off, and it turned into 2 touchdowns.
Wow.
You know, that's the type of stuff that happened to us at the beginning of the year, and that can't happen if you're going to beat the good teams. That's something we've been preaching to the guys for, all year long.
Mm-hmm.
But proud of the guys. Look, we started 0-4, and now we just climbed back to 4-4. So, got to keep this train rolling. Got a tough game this week against Houston. They're going to come prepared. They always are. They're well coached, and we're going to see where we are as a team this week. No question.
Yeah. Well, and it's like I said last week, I think you guys are getting hot at the right time, right? If you're going to struggle a little bit, struggling at the beginning of the year is much better than struggling at the end of the year when you're trying to get into the playoffs. So if you could struggle in the beginning of the year, fix what needs to be fixed, all of a sudden get hot towards the end of the year, that's a better formula than the other way around.
Yeah, right.
So nice job to the JV Junior Red Hawk team getting hot at the right time. Let's move on to the varsity team. The varsity unfortunately fell to Tuolumne 30-6. Some stats offensively. It looks like they had 187 yards and 1 touchdown. Don't have a whole lot of other stats on there, but I do have a note here from head coach Kodey Paulson that he wanted me to share with everybody regarding the varsity team. He says these boys are putting up a hell of an effort, showing up, trying to get better at practice and keep playing the game. which is a testament to their character when things aren't going right. I wish as coaches we were able to get them more prepared, more ready to be a team, a unit, and play a better brand of Calaveras football. This has been a tough season so far. I would just like to give these boys credit for all their hard work because it's not been showing up on the field. So that was a quote from head coach Troy Paulson at the end of that loss. And any comments about the varsity game, Coach?
Yeah, I didn't hang around to watch that game, so I don't really know exactly what happened. Another loss, and I'm with Coach. You see the kids showing up. I mean, they're always got kids there trying to get better. I think right now is when you're going to start to see true character. They're 2-6 on the year. Who's going to continue to show up and give it 100%? Who's going to show up and half-ass it? Who's going to stop showing up? Who's going to miss? Who's going to start being sick?
Right.
You're going to find out who your guys are and who the guys you can't depend on are here real quick.
Right.
So hopefully, hey man, suck it up, show up to practice, get better, try to turn that thing around. There's still time. All you got to do is make it in the show.
Yeah.
Once you make it in,
it's a new season.
Yep.
Everybody's 0-0 at that point.
Yep.
And it's like it's easy to be excited when things are going well. Not so easy when things aren't going well. And when things aren't going well and you still work hard and you still do what you have to do, like Coach Paulson said, that's a testament to your character and your work ethic. And, that kind of thing is what you learn from the game of football that's going to help you, not just on the field, it's going to help you in everything you do, in school, in life. And that's why I love this game so much. That's why I love that all you coaches are out there teaching these young people that lesson. So good job to all of you out there spreading that message to all of these young people who need to hear it. Keep pushing, keep working. Things will work out. You just got to keep going. So with that being said, Saturday, Houston comes into Frank Meyer Field. And then I think the week after that, you guys are at AMA at Bret Hart. So only a couple games left, and then we get into the playoffs. Any comments around the Junior Red Hawk program as far as looking at Houston and AMA, and then moving forward?
So one thing I'll tell you is that Houston community, it's similar to ours. A little bigger, of course, but a lot of football. They're very tight with their high school program. There's a lot of coaches on the sideline. I think there's going to be some very good football being played on Saturday. Very good football. You start with the junior novice Houston team. They're sitting at 4th place right now. The novice Houston team is sitting at 3rd place right now at 7-1. Junior varsity Houston team's at 5th, and the varsity team's at 3rd. I mean, all those teams, they're up there.
Right.
And they're playing good football. One thing I notice about some of the film that I've seen on the different levels is they all play good defense.
Mm-hmm.
Really good defense. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be a good day of football. Got a little rain coming, or a little rain happened this week. And, now the sun's out. I think it's going to be a good day of football.
I think it's going to be perfect football weather. I think on Saturday it'll be dry. I don't think it's going to rain, but it'll be cool and just like that sunny day, blue sky that comes just after a good rain, right?
Yeah,
nice, cool football weather.
I used to remember the Niners at Candlestick Park. The fog just started to kind of burn off, and it was kickoff time.
Right.
Had the old Rolling Stones song come
hot
on.
dog wrappers, the little tornado in the corner going on over there. And
I love it.
that's football weather.
Love it, man.
I love it. Okay, so let's. The other thing I was going to say about the Houston program is, you mentioned the records of all their the junior teams and what they're doing, and then their high school. Their high school's doing pretty darn good. So that entire program over there, I mean, they're moving in the right direction. They're doing what they got to do. So, and I feel like Calaveras is done the same thing. It's funny that you mentioned that they kind of mirror each other a little bit on like how they look at their programs and they look at football, because I think you're right. There's a lot of similarities there. So we should see some really good football games on Saturday.
And it's funny too. People that have been around Calaveras for a while, and Calaveras versus Houston, that goes way back.
Mm-hmm.
It goes way back. When we used to be in the same division, and we used to play during the season. You know, we'd play a non-league game and playoffs, and you know, Houston's knocked off Calaveras a few times when Calaveras thought they were going to go the distance. You know? So it's you know, I don't want to say a rivalry, if you will, but good game, long-standing tradition, playing each other. You know,
there's history there.
Yeah. You know, I think it's great.
I do too. So it'll be a lot of fun. Be sure to get out there after you make the trip to Modesto and support the high school team. Come back home and go watch those guys on Saturday. Speaking of the high school team, the junior varsity Red Hawks did not have a game scheduled. Millennium didn't have a JV team, so they weren't going to play no matter what. So they didn't have a game scheduled, so we have nothing to report for them. And then the high school varsity team was ready to play. Found out on Thursday that Millennium was not going to show up, so they end up winning by forfeit. So we don't really have a whole lot to go over as far as that game and stats and all that stuff. But any comments around that scenario other than we'll take the W and let's move on?
Well, there's nothing we can do about it. You know? They couldn't field the team, and you know, we had a lot of things set up. Had a home game, right? So we lose our gate, we lose the you know, the money that comes in for that. We had a CJR night, right? That's a big night to have the kids show up and, you know, line up onto the field and, you know, be a part of it, you know. And
sure.
So that kind of was that sucked.
Yeah.
You know, that was a downer. I wish we would have known earlier. I know that's probably easier said than done. But yeah, it is what it is. Nothing we can do about it. We just got to roll with it and move on to the next week.
That's all you can do.
Yep.
So with that being said, Coach, since there's nothing to go over from the last prior game, I did have an opportunity to speak to a couple of your players about moving forward and about having to play Big Valley tonight. Let's listen in on a couple of words of what these guys had to say. I'm with number 60, Wyat Arias, defensive lineman. Wyat, obviously no game last week. Millennium forfeited. But Friday before that, you were at Tuolumne in Summerville, had a great defensive game, living in Summerville's backfield. Tell me a little bit about what was working that night so much for you to constantly be making plays in the backfield.
The basics, really just staying low, not stopping, pushing forward as much as I can. It was a lot of ripping through and just the basics. That's it. Okay.
So tell me a little bit, you know, I mean, now that obviously the forfeit with Millennium, now you got Big Valley coming up on the road again. Big Valley's been kind of, you know, hit and miss. They've been tough lately as far as they seem to get better and better as each week goes. Tell me about what do you think you need to do to make sure you help your team out and continuing the success you're having playing defensively?
I think I need to keep my eye on the ball. I got a problem with jumping a lot, so I need to work on that. And then obviously, besides just ripping, I need to work on my speed and then a few other moves because they're a tough team. Ripping's not just going to work against them. I need to come up with different things, hit the gaps harder, and just play to my heart's content.
Yeah, so Big Valley, Christian has a quarterback and a running back. They like to throw, they like to run. What helps you to recognize, like, if it's a run or pass and being able to get in there? What are some of the things that help you recognize that so you can be in the right spot and make plays?
The linemen, if it's a pass, they'll just stand straight up. With the runs, they'll kind of go to their guy. They'll, instead of staying straight up, they'll lean forward more. Mm-hmm. And they're not – the hands, they're not as much on their hands. They're kind of like lean back a little bit. Okay. So I kind of look for that.
So you look for little signs, little keys that help you kind of get a step on them?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, excellent. So that's number 60, Wyat Arias. So, appreciate your time. I know you got work to do, and look forward to seeing you out there on Friday doing your thing against Big Valley Christian.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, so I'm with number 11, Payden Long, who was once upon a time the starting ex-receiver, but because the team needed you, you became the backup quarterback and did a fantastic job, by the way, against Summerville. And
Thank you.
What was the biggest Motherlode League game of the year? Tell me a little bit about how it felt going into there under those circumstances.
Well, I mean, obviously I haven't played quarterback in a couple years, so I mean, I wasn't that nervous. I mean, it was just like the mechanics, handing off the ball and getting the footwork down. So I mean, I wasn't too nervous, but I mean, we went in there and our team just played great. You know, like Ryan, Taco. I mean, Kodey Paulson had some great plays, some big gains. So I think they put the team on their back and really stepped up.
Right. So, I mean, obviously, being a receiver and used to having Cohen, throwing the ball to you, and now suddenly you're the guy under center. It's probably not the most ideal situation. And the fly offense can be tough to run because of that, guy in motion, snapping the ball, the timing, being able to hand off that whole mesh point and all that stuff. Right. And you had a couple chances in other games where game was out of hand, you came in to take over. So do you think that helped you going into that game as opposed to like, oh man, this is the first time and I got to go against Summerville to do this? Do you think those other chances kind of helped you be ready for that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, again, I think it was against River Islands, obviously, and then some other team, I don't remember. But yeah, getting those reps really made me get back in that groove of playing quarterback. And I mean, having the guy in motion pretty much all game, that was pretty difficult to try to like get the footwork down and all that kind of stuff. But we practiced pretty hard that week and got it down, and yeah, I mean, all worked out.
And then you guys ran actually out of some of that wildcat formation where Enrique was back there at quarterback, direct snap, and he's running the football. Did that kind of help you to kind of maybe give you a few reps break to kind of gather yourself, or do you think maybe it was a hindrance because you wanted to be out there to kind of maybe get more timing down, or I don't know, what do you think about having to split time in that way?
No, I think it was good because, like, obviously I'm going to be a little bit nervous, going in there against Summerville and getting those snaps. So I think seeing, Taco go out there and execute on that first drive for, like, those first few plays really got me, like my confidence up and, like,
sure.
Yeah. So watching them go out there and, perform really boost my confidence to go out there.
Now, looking at, Millennium doing the forfeit, so you guys had no game. Now you're on the road again to Modesto for Big Valley. Is there like a hunger there? Like now, I've been sitting around too long. Let's get at it again. And how do you feel about being ready to go play against Big Valley for Friday?
Yeah, I mean, we're all pumped up because we already had our bye week, and that was like another bye week. So we just want to go out there and play. And I think this game we're gonna really get after it and really put some points up and try to get back up in those rankings. So yeah.
Okay. Well, that's number 11, Payden Long, the starting ex, but backup quarterback who's become the starting quarterback. Yeah. I wish you the best of luck on Friday and continued success for the rest of the season.
All right, thank you.
You got it. All right, so I'm with number 33, middle linebacker and fullback, Kodey Paulson. Kodey, you're no stranger to having a microphone in front of your face and talking with me. Tell me a little bit about how it felt going into Summerville. I mean, you had 3 touchdowns on the night. It was a big Motherlode League game. Both of you guys were 2-0 going into that game. So it was a big game. Tell me about how you felt going in there.
I mean, I felt great. I had a lot of confidence in our guys. I mean, going up there, it's nice weather, nice and cool, football weather. So I just felt great. I had so much confidence going into that game, and I think that confidence with all of us just really helped us get that win.
So I noticed when I was calling the game, there were some big plays. I mean, it was a close game the entire game. I mean, it was 7-0 in the first quarter. It was 7-0 at the half. End of the third, it was 7-7. With halfway in the fourth quarter, it was only 13-7. There were a couple of big fourth down plays, and I noticed you looked over at the sidelines and you were saying something to Coach like, "Hey, give it to me. I'll take care of this." Tell me a little bit about what was going on there.
I just think when it comes into short yardage and it's fourth down, just call my number and I'll get those yards 100%. So that's what I did, and I got those.
You were saying, "I'll get it. Just give me the rock. I'll take care of it."
Yep.
Excellent. So, Millennium calls and forfeits. How do you guys handle that coming off a big win? Then all of a sudden it's a big letdown. There's no game, and then now this week you got to get up and ready again. Tell me about the level of difficulty or what you've had to go through as far as all of that scenario goes.
I mean, I hate not having a game on Friday, but it was also good for our players to get healthy, get 100% for the next couple weeks, including for Linden next week. So I thought it did us good, but also I was excited to play on Friday night, but it did us good by getting us healthy.
So are you pretty hungry? You chomping at the bit? I mean, if I had to take a week off when I didn't want a week off, I think I'd be pretty hungry to get back at it.
Oh yeah, I'm always ready to get back at it. Even the day after, I'm ready to go back at it.
Okay. All right, so we've been talking with number 33, Kodey Paulson. One more thing, Kodey. Big Valley Christian, they're 3-1 in league, coming into this game. And, people that have heard the phenomenon about trap games, right? It's like you just come off a big win, then you take a week off, and then there's a team that supposedly on paper you should be favored. I mean, if that's not the definition of a trap game, I don't know what else is. What are you guys doing to make sure that you don't fall into that trap and make sure you guys go in there and handle business?
Our main focus is staying focused and not looking ahead, like not looking into Linden. Just stay focused on this team this week, and then once it comes next week, then we'll focus on Linden. I just think we need to take our opponent serious. It doesn't matter who it is, so just take them serious, really.
All right. Well, that's number 33, Kodey Paulson, middle linebacker, fullback. I'll be out there calling the game on KVGC. Wish you the best of luck on Friday.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. All right, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, everyone. So at this time, I want to send a big thank you out to our KVGC quarter sponsors for the radio call that happens every Friday night for the Calaveras varsity football games. MRM Stone, Harley Davidson of Sacramento, Treats General Store, and the Paver Company. Let's hear from them, and we'll be right back. MRM Stone has over 1,000 natural stone selections, fabrication services, and delivery available. Stop on by 2173 Highway 12 in Valley Springs or go to mrmstone.com. Give us a ring at 209-763-5761. MRM Stone, your masonry and landscape stone supplier. Ready to feel the freedom of the open road? Learn to ride at Harley-Davidson of Sacramento. Our riding academy is now open 7 days a week. Whether you're brand new to riding, getting back on the bike after some time away, or just want to sharpen your skills, we've got a course for you. You'll learn everything from mastering the controls to riding the curves with confidence. It's also the perfect gift for a new rider in your life. Sign up today and let us get you rolling. We'll even help you register for an upcoming class when we return to the line. Harley-Davidson of Sacramento, where your journey begins. Treats General Store in San Andreas, California, is a proud sponsor of Calaveras football and the Let's Talk Football with Coach Val podcast. Treats General Store has everything you need from groceries, meat, liquors, and hardware. Treats General Store since 1852. Attention football fans and backyard dreamers. Game day is better when your home turf is just as impressive as the one on the field. The Paver Company is here to turn your yard into the ultimate outdoor paradise. Perfect for barbecues, watch parties, and relaxing evenings. Locally owned and family operated by the Biondi family, we bring championship level craftsmanship and a personal touch to every project. Make your yard the one everyone talks about. Visit thepavercompany.com or call 916-222-8844 to schedule your consultation. Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality with the Paver Company. All right, welcome back, everyone. Our next segment we call From Around the League, where we take a look around the Motherlode League and see what happened this past week and who they're playing tonight. Big Valley was victorious over Riverbank, 34-0. And then, as I mentioned earlier, Calaveras will be on the road and headed to Big Valley. So Big Valley will be hosting Calaveras. That's scheduled for a 7 p.m. kickoff tonight, October 17th. Bret Hart lost to Linden 35-0. Bret Hart heads out on the road to River Islands. That's scheduled for a 7 p.m. kickoff. As I just mentioned, Linden beat Bret Hart 35-0, and now Linden goes home, and they'll play host to Riverbank. So Riverbank at Linden, 7 p.m. kickoff. Millennium forfeited, so they lost to Calaveras. So Calaveras gets a win by forfeit. And then now Millennium is scheduled to be at Summerville But I would say, I wouldn't exactly buy your ticket or sell your house and get ready to move over there quite yet. I'd want to double check that one. But they are scheduled to be at Summerville. Riverbank lost to Big Valley 34-0. Riverbank is at Linden. River Islands lost to Summerville 30-13. And now Bret Hart will be at River Islands. That's scheduled for a 7 p.m. kickoff. And then again, Summerville bounces back after the Calaveras loss, beats River Islands 30-13, and they're scheduled to play a game at home against Millennium. And then Calaveras wins by forfeit over Millennium. They'll be on the road at Big Valley. Any comments around any of those league games, Coach?
Yeah, Big Valley, 34-0 over Riverbank. They look good. They look good. They put you in a bind a little bit. A couple of their formations, and they played very well. Played very well. So I think we got our work cut out for us tonight. We got to be prepared. We got to line up correctly. Our alignment's got to be perfect. Then we got to go play football. We got to go play our brand of football. Because they're not going to make it easy. If everybody remembers last year. They were in the game, majority of the game.
Yeah.
It wasn't until the end where we started to pull away just a little bit, you
Right.
know? And I think, that's obviously something we talked about this week with the guys. We got to be ready from first quarter on,
Right.
be ready to play and try to, win every play.
Yeah.
Don't wait for somebody else to get it done. You got to go get it done. So.
We'll get into that a little bit more when we get to this week in practice. But other games around the area, Amador beats Galt 47-0, and then they'll hit the road tonight. Amador will be at Union Mine. That's scheduled for a 7:30 p.m. kickoff. Big, huge win here. Argonaut beats Rosemont 36-33. Congratulations to Coach Hickman and the Argonaut Mustangs. That was a big win. Rosemont and Liberty Ranch were the two teams that were absolutely just killing everybody in that league. And so for Argonaut to get a big win over Rosemont, big win there, 36-33. Argonaut will go home, and Galt will come into Jackson. And so it'll be Galt at Argonaut, and that's scheduled for a 7:30 p.m. kickoff. And then Sonora beats Houston 43-12. Sonora will be at home tonight at 7 p.m. kickoff as Ripon comes into town. Ripon at Sonora, 7 p.m. kickoff. Any comments on any of those games, Coach?
Sonora's back at it, obviously. Houston's no slouch. They're a good team. And
I felt like just that 1 point win over Hillmar, and maybe they were a little perturbed a little bit about that. And like, this is kind of one of those, you bounce back a little upset, a little chip on the shoulder.
Amador, doing well. But yeah, the Argonaut game, man, that sounds like a game that would have been fun to be at.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the box score, and they scored 22 in the fourth quarter. They came back to win that game.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's wild, man. That's a good one right there. I bet you Coach Hickman, I bet you they're fired up.
Yeah.
That's a good for them.
That's a big win, and something you could build on and say, hey, look at what we're capable of, and just try to build off of that.
Yeah, man. They're a young football team. Wins like that, man, that's going to resonate.
Yeah, they got a lot of sophomores that are pretty talented there, so they get some those guys to mature a little bit and have more continuity and some consistency. They could be a problem in the next couple of years. Moving on to the Motherlode League standings, Calaveras at the top of the mountain right now at 5-2 overall, 4-0 in league. Linden is right there with them. They are 5-2, also 4-0 in league. Summerville is 5-2. They are 3-1 in league. Big Valley is 3-4. They're 3-1 in league. Bret Hart 2-5, 1-3 in league. Riverbank 2-5, 1-3 in league. River Islands 1-6, 0-4 in league, and then Millennium 0-7, 0-4 in league. And when I look at those standings, Coach, the thing that pops out to me is Big Valley being 3-1 in league. Now, granted, they still got Calaveras and Linden to contend with in the next few weeks. But any comments around the Motherlode League standings?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me. I think they're a good football team. They were a good football team last year. I think they've had some tough competition in the preseason this year. But yeah, I think they're on the right track, man. I think they're doing what they should be doing. You know, they're ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a tough football team. I know Coach Lima's, teaches fundamentals, and those guys are going to come out and they're going to be, fundamentally sound. And so it'll be an interesting game. I think it's going to be, oh man, it's like one of those things where it's like you said earlier when we were talking about the Junior Red Hawks. You can't take plays off. You can't just say we did great for 38 plays, but there were 40 plays, and the 2 that we took off, they scored touchdowns on, because those types of things changes the whole outcome of a game.
Yeah.
And so the same thing goes no matter at what level. So at the high school varsity level, you can't play 3 out of the 4 good quarters. You've got to play 4 quarters of all 3 levels: offense, defense, special teams. You got to put it all together if you really want to beat good, solid football teams. You can't just have part of it.
And the other thing too for these teams, Big Valley, Bret Hart, you look at the rankings, they're kind of on the outside looking in that new playoff bracket. Only top 8 now,
Right. So, that's a good point.
So, they got to put some wins together and, try to get in that top 8. That's where it's at. So they're, it's possible, we look at it, it's definitely possible they're there, but, I'm looking at the bracket right now, which I got to be honest, I don't pay attention to it too much, but Millennium's above Bret Hart. I don't know how that.
I don't even know how that's
how you do that with forfeits. That makes no sense whatsoever. But yeah.
What kind of CIF algorithm is that?
That is exactly why I never look at the bracket. Right. I never look at it. I do it, and I'm gonna go ahead and
and then Amazon says I need to buy like wool socks, right? So where'd that come from? It's like, no. All right, let's move on, Coach. Let's move on to what we call next level action. I'll tell you what, when I look some of these stuff up online, some of these junior college websites that keep track of their schedule and their scores and all that stuff, it's like the same exact system, like the same template, it all looks exactly the same. It's just a different color and a different school and a different, but you could tell it's the same company that's producing this website for these guys. And they're not always on the money, on time. Like, here it is. There was one Saturday where it's 11 o'clock at night. I know it was a 1 p.m. kickoff, so I know the game's over. And I look up and it's giving me real time, like it's second quarter with 4 minutes left on this website. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure it's not 4 minutes left in the second quarter at 11 o'clock at night. So the websites have been kind of a little thorn in my side. But with that being said, I did get more information. So Delta did beat Contra Costa 54-19. Delta tomorrow on Saturday the 18th will be on the road at Feather River for a 5 p.m. kickoff. But now Delta has won 3 games in a row and is now 4-2 on the season. So congrats to Coach Barlow down over there in Stockton. He's got these guys going.
Nice.
MJC beat Fresno 20-7. They'll be back at home. Reedley will come into Modesto. Reedley at MJC. That's Saturday the 18th for 1 p.m. kickoff. MJC is also 4-2 on the season. Sierra College beats Redwoods 57-34. Sierra College will hit the road at Santa Rosa. That's scheduled for Saturday the 18th, 1 p.m. kickoff. Sierra College is 2-4 on the season thus far. UC Davis beats Northern Arizona 45-24. The other thing I noticed, Coach, with all these schools that have like a directional thing associated, like it's Eastern Arizona or Northern Arizona or Southern Utah or whatever it is, those teams usually aren't that good.
They're almost like like an afterthought.
Yeah, it's like when it's just Utah, you go, oh, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
But you put a direction in front of them, you go, eh. If we gotta tell you like where the school's at specifically, they're probably not that good.
Man, now you got me thinking about all the teams and the college teams in the nation.
Like Central Michigan, or like, someone's like, okay, not as good as just Michigan, right? Yeah. If you just say Michigan, you know who you're talking about.
Oh man, don't bring up that.
Okay, I won't bring it up.
Don't bring up Michigan this week.
Anyways, UC Davis beats Northern Arizona 45-24. UC Davis is on a bye. They are 5-1 on the season. And I'll tell you what, I'm kind of looking forward to November when UC Davis and Sac State play that Causeway Classic game.
Yeah.
And we're starting to see a little bit about how that's going to go, or at least how you think it may go, because right now, I was going to Sac State next. They beat Weber State, but so did UC Davis. So they're starting to play the same exact schools like almost a week, after each other or before each other. So you kind of see how they did against each other. So it'll be interesting. So Sac State did beat Weber State 55-27. Sac State will be at home Saturday the 18th for a 6 p.m. kickoff. And I'm going to go on a limb here and say Sac State will win this game because they're playing Northern Colorado, not just Colorado, but they're playing Northern Colorado. So I'm going to say just because of that, Sac State comes up with a W. So don't let me down, Coach Marion. So far on the season, Sac State is 3-3. Northern Colorado coming into Sacramento tomorrow, the 18th, 6 p.m. kickoff. Cal was on a bye, much needed bye after getting beat by Duke. And now on a rare Friday night game for the college accent. So Friday night, 7:30 p.m., the University of North Carolina, coached by Bill Belichick. So the Tar Heels come into the Bay Area. They'll be at Cal, 7:30 p.m. kickoff. It's the Hall of Fame and Bay Area Appreciation Day. Cal so far in the year is 4-2. Any comments around the next level action games?
It's a lot of good local football.
Yeah.
That Friday night UNC at Cal, that's going to be a fun one.
And since the Raiders left, there's not a whole lot of live football going on in those parts there. So you got that's a big game.
Some could argue there wasn't much football going on before they left.
Just
saying.
You probably have a good point there, though.
I'm behind the mic making friends right now, dude.
But I'll tell you what, ex-Cal player, ex-Oakland Raider player, Marshawn Lynch has been on a big, Cal Bear marketing promotion. He's been doing commercials with, the Cal cheerleaders and doing the whole thing and trying to get, the black hole theme coming back to Cal Berkeley and getting people out there. So I'm sure
that's cool.
The administration, the athletic director, they gotta love that, right?
Yeah.
That's got to be selling tickets and getting people to come out to the game. So I'm sure they're loving that portion of it. But you're right. You can argue there has to be that community's starving. That community's starving.
It just slipped out. I didn't even mean to say it. But
that community is hungry for some good football. And I'll just say this when I say hungry for some football, that's maybe a little bit of foreshadowing into this week's Coach Fowles rant. Just gonna say.
Okay.
Just gonna say. But let's move on.
Like how that happened.
This week in practice, Coach, tell us how it went. Tell us what Big Valley is going to run offensively, defensively, who's their go-to guy. Give us the updates on what's going on. How did practice go?
We have a mature team. We had a good week of practice. It was wet. Weather was crappy, and it didn't matter. We practiced anyway. We worked through it. It's that time of the year. We got to get prepared for the elements and wet footballs and bad footing and all that stuff. So, good week of practice. Again, I don't pay attention to numbers on the other team, but I do know they're a fairly good size. Big football team. I know their tight end's he's a big guy. They can do both. They can run, they can throw. They want to run it, but if you shut it down, you got to be prepared. You got to stay on top of receivers because they're going to chuck the ball a little bit. We're going to be down there on grass. Not sure how the field's going to be. Again,
especially with all the rain. Yeah,
we got to be prepared for anything. So, no excuses, right?
Right.
That's what we preach. So, I think the guys are ready to go. It's another away game. It's we gotta pick it back up, right? We had kind of a letdown last week with no game, and we got to pick it up. We got to be ready. Gotta get things flowing again. You know what I mean? It was kind of a downer last week, so we got to get rid of that. We got to lose that, and and get ready to play a football game.
I hear you.
And and I'll say this, and we've said it. Look, if you're looking towards Linden already, stop. Because these guys, I think, can if we're not prepared, they'll beat us.
Right.
At their home field, if we're not prepared, they're going to beat us. We got to be prepared and we got to be focused.
I can't even tell you how clear as day this would be if you were going to paint a picture or define what's a trap game. It would be this exact same scenario, right? Yeah. Oh, you had the week off because another team forfeited. You came off a big win. Then you get a team that forfeits, and now you go into a team that you're supposedly the favorite, but they're no slouch. That's the definition of a trap game, all right there. All that whole scenario, just like it's just being set up perfect for that exact thing.
Yes, it is.
So if you don't handle your business, that you're going to fall into that trap. You mentioned they still run a lot of the wing tee stuff, right? And
yeah, they do. And they got some different formations mixed into it. So we got to be on our game defensively. We got to recognize the formation and line up appropriately.
Right. And for those of you out there going, what's wing tee, coach? Wing tees, they get a traditional, like, say, pro set type offense is your quarterback under center, couple of running backs, maybe an I or split formation behind the quarterback. A wing tee is where you get one of those running backs or a receiver running back type and kind of put them out there, not so much right behind the quarterback, but maybe in a slot position or tight near the line. And they call it a wing, but he can come in motion. He could leave having the ball snapped. He can go out for a pass. He could, take a handoff from the quarterback. He could take it. There's lots of things he can do. And by having him out there in the wing, it kind of changes what the defense has to do a little bit. Maybe their alignment, maybe their responsibilities. There could be a lot of misdirection as a result of that wing because you could have running backs in the backfield along with the wing, and now you're going, okay, who's getting it? A lot of misdirection. And so because of that misdirection, like you said, Coach, defensively, you've got to be disciplined, do your job, know your teammates are going to do their job, because the moment you go, I'm going to go help so-and-so, and you leave your post, that's when they come flying through your post.
Yep, and they run it at a gun, right? They want you to get upfield if you're a D lineman, DN, they want you to get upfield. They're going to pull and they're going to kick you, right? You get upfield, you just give them an easy block. We have to be very disciplined up front.
All right, and then defensively, what are we looking at? Odd, even? What kind of guys? What's that? What are you gonna have to block?
Well, what we've seen so far is odd front and 3-5-3. We've seen a lot of 3-5-3 this year. And everybody runs it a little bit differently depending on the formation, the offensive formation versus and the blitzes, the backers, and who's coming, and it's. We've seen it, but yet it's different, so we got to be prepared no matter what we see. Our eyes got to be up, and we got to go get people in space.
Right.
That's really what it's going to be about. So
why do you think you're seeing more 3-5-3 out there? Is it because guys aren't as big anymore? Because normally, when you get all these big guys, you want those big guys up front. Let's throw a 5-man front and let's say, try to run on us. But if you don't have that many big guys, then you kind of I got more linebackers and DBs type, so I'd rather have guys back there flying around trying to make plays. Do you think that's the reason, or why do you think you're seeing so much 3-5-3?
I think it's a lot of reasons. I think a lot of good high school football teams are having success with it. Ripon Christian's very good at it. Summerville's very good at it. So I think people see that and want to give it a shot.
Sure.
When we play the 3-5-3. Reading the keys out the door. It's not about a key read. It's about a direction. Which way is the D-line going? Which way is the linebackers going? Who's blitzing? Who's not blitzing? It may be, depending on your personnel, maybe easier for you. Play fast. Do what we ask you to do. Don't worry about reading the key. Just go. I think, between those couple of reasons, I think we're starting to see quite a bit of it. Look, and depending on exactly how they're doing it, it definitely can put us into some binds, right? It puts us in a bad spot. That's the tough part, is we have to be ready for so much. We may see this, they're going to line up here, but we may see this, or we may see this. You have to be prepared for all of the above, and asking a high school student to be prepared for all that sometimes is not the easiest thing to do.
Right.
So our guys have stepped up to the challenge this year. I felt like we've done we've done pretty good against it. Besides maybe Rip and Christian, I felt like we should have done a lot better against them. They're 3-5-3. I think they, they won the battles that week. So yeah, we got to be prepared for these guys. One guy, one linebacker finding a hole. I mean, he could make life pretty tough Friday night. So we'll see how it goes. Kind of getting a little jacked up for it already, right?
So, we talk about, go-to guy, those kind of things. And I look at the roster for Big Valley, and I notice their quarterback, number 3, Travis Lima. That's the coach's son.
Yeah.
Your last football game, Leverus, number 3, the quarterback, who's kind of their go-to guy, coach's son. What is it about these? I mean, it always seemed like the coach's son at quarterback, those teams are usually pretty good offensively, and they come out and is he just getting that extra coaching when he's at home and at the dinner table, and the kid, is that much more knowledgeable, and that's why those teams are pretty tough? It always just seems like I don't remember a time where we faced a team where the quarterback is the coach's kid and they were not good or they were not competitive.
Yeah, they're definitely getting more coaching. Whether they want it or not.
Before you finish your potatoes there, son, we're going to have a little talk.
I mean, I got a 10-year-old that's rolled his eyes at me a few times this year, but and look, they're getting the most honest and view of the head coach, their dad, right? At home, you say what you feel. You're not cutting any corners. You're not trying to not hurt feelings. Like, if you're the coach's son and you're there, you get it all.
Right.
And so I think it's a tough thing. I know it can be a tough thing because I think majority of us coaches are a little harder on our kids than the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Majority.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I feel like those players, they understand the game a little differently. They see it from a different perspective. They see the amount of time the coach puts in.
Well, good point.
A lot of other players, they don't see that time.
Right.
And I think it just means a little bit more to them because it's kind of look, Saturdays, I mean, we're busy, right? With my boy and my daughter now.
Mm-hmm.
That's our day. That's our day together.
Right.
Let's go play some football.
Right.
And we do it together. We get there at 11. Games at noon. We watch our daughter cheer, and then boom, on the field, watch my son play football. So it's just different. It hits home different, and majority of the time, I feel I haven't been in this position yet, but because of the extra coaching, because of where they are, those coaches' sons, especially at quarterback, they just have a more understanding of what needs to be done. And you can go back to Ricky Davis at Argonaut.
Yeah.
His boy was a decent football player his freshman year. By the time he hit his senior year, he was a dude.
Right.
And so, yeah. So,
and a state champion, I believe.
A state champion. Yeah, exactly. So, I think it's an advantage for these kids. Especially if their dads are running the offenses, it's a big advantage for them. And, it's almost another weapon. What else do they have?
Right.
We haven't seen it. Like, we haven't seen it all. So, it's always a challenge.
Right. So it should be good. 7 p.m. kickoff. Big Valley Christian High School over there on Pittlandale and Tully over there in Modesto. Calaveras on the road to take them on in the next Motherlode League matchup. Any last words regarding Big Valley in the game tonight, Coach, before I head on to Coach Val's rant? I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm feeling a couple of those little hunger pangs going on in my stomach right now. I had no football this past Friday. I didn't get to call a game, and I'm feeling a little hungry.
Floor's yours.
All right, Coach Val's rant. I foreshadowed it early. It's about staying hungry. Here we go. All right, listen up, Calaveras. This is about staying hungry. I'm not thinking about what I ate yesterday or what I'm going to eat next week. because my focus and energy is on the meal I'm about to have right in front of me. What did you do in the last game? Who cares? What are you going to do tonight? Right now. Stay hungry. Stay hungry means you have a desire for more, an insatiable appetite, a thirst that cannot be quenched. Stay hungry. Complacency stifles progress. Not being hungry is not an option. Stay hungry. Staying hungry means you have a relentless work ethic and the audacity to keep your foot on the gas. No breaks. Stay hungry. Everything has standards. Sales companies expect their employees to sell. NASCAR drivers go fast. Chefs cook. Contractors build. And Calaveras football players stay hungry. You heard it, folks. Get your appetite taken care of tonight. 7 p.m. kickoff. Friday Night Lights at its best. Motherlode League football action. Calaveras at Big Valley Christian. 5 p.m., 7 p.m. kickoff. Download that KVGC radio app, click on the oldies, and hear yours truly, Gil Valtiera and Greg Stark, bring you all the live play-by-play action. If you're going to strap on that helmet tonight, stay hungry. Calaveras Red Hawk football. Let's go! Coach, you want to go get something to eat?
Love it. I love it. You know, that's true too. We're not worried about the last meal, right?
Nope.
Getting the next meal.
Not the last one or the one. What am I going to have next week? What's in front of me right now?
Love it.
Let's eat. All right, folks. Hey, a big appreciation. Thanks out there for listening. We appreciate you. Thanks for Coach Mossa for coming in out of your busy schedule. Appreciate you being here today, Coach.
Yep, thanks for having me.
You bet. Please remember to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Let's Talk Football at Coach Val. Share that with all your friends and followers so we can grow the show. There'll be a brand new episode every Friday during football season. So until next time, we are out. From our left to right, and they're all white uniforms. Here's the kick. Kicks it about the middle of the field. Looks like 19, that's Kodey Ferrante. He's going to run up the middle. He's got some room. He's got a couple of blockers, cuts to his left, breaks a couple of tackles, uses his speed. There he goes! Touchdown, Calaveras!
What a great way to start the homecoming game to get the crowd into it immediately.
What a play. The first time he touches the ball, he takes it to the house for 6 points.